Welcome back. In this video, we're going to cover a startup workflow in GitLab. First, we'll create our remote repository using the web interface for LogoGit. The first step would be to log in at logogit.unm.edu. I've already done so, so I will go right into creating our new project. I'm just going to create a blank project, call it test2, and choose the GitClass project URL. Generally, you can just choose your user URL unless you want it to be somewhere specific. I'm going to set it to a private visibility level, which is the best practice. You can always add people as contributors or just viewers for your project, but generally it's a good idea to set your projects to private. I'm not going to initialize with a README, just to start off. So I will create this project. Might take a second, there we go. And then I'm going to use the little code drop down here to clone with HTTPS. If you set up an SSH key, which we'll talk about in a later video, it can make this step a lot easier. And can prevent you from having to authenticate at every step. But for now, I'll just clone with HTTPS. I'm going to type git clone and then paste that URL that it gave me. So because the repository is empty, it's a little bit confused why I'm cloning it, but that's okay. We're going to add some stuff in there. Once you create a completely blank repository, it does give you command line instructions for exactly what you need to do. So we are going to be mostly following this create a new repository set of instructions. So when I created this repository, it just created a directory called test2 that I can cd into, which stands for change directory. So now if I type pwd, that shows me that I'm now in this repository. If I list everything in here, it's completely empty, so that doesn't really help. What we're going to do is we are going to do that git switch create main, and then we're going to do touch readme. So what this does is it just creates a blank empty file. So we're going to stage the changes of the README. So git add readme.md. Oh, there we go. And then git commit. I usually just have the message initial commit for this first one, just so that I can track that. And this does kind of already tell you the exact git push command that you should be using. But just to kind of show you some functionality of git, if you just do a git push, it will also be able to find that main branch, depending on your setup. Sometimes it won't be able to find that main branch if you don't do this git switch create main. And in that case, it will actually give you the correct command that you need to use to push to the remote main branch. So now what we're going to do is make sure that that's actually showing up. So I'm just going to reload the web page here. And now we have a README that's just, completely blank. We didn't really put anything in it. It's my initial commit. And that is sort of the beginning workflow of just getting set up and getting everything kind of moving along.